Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock Doc Podcast,
where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as orchiectomy and forced to be retconned with. So I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, I know that you're excited to talk about your weekend or whatever, but we actually have a sponsor today.
Oh!
And no, I'm not talking about my AA sponsor.
Okay.
That's
they aren't
he'll
here?
be on next.
Okay.
His ad will be on next
Okay,
week.
okay. Yeah. But congrats.
But yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
London.
You've made it pretty far through the AA stuff. Sorry, I don't want to distract.
Oh yeah. No, I've been drunk, God, every day for 300 days now, I think.
Yeah, well, that's how you keep the sponsorship. That's what you explained to me, right? You have to keep drinking.
It's Alcoholics Anonymous. Like the whole thing is like you got to be an alcoholic to be in there.
Yeah. Wow. Congrats on that. And what's the ad?
Yeah, this is actually kind of interesting. Usually our sponsors are companies and we do an ad for them. This is more of a like a personal ad.
Okay.
So let me just read off the copy here. Hi, my name is Flatterny, and I am looking for my other half. Someone who likes indie rock, good movies, especially rom-coms, Italian food, and who wants to be eaten by me, Flatterny the Cannibal. No smokers, please. Bonus points if you can make me laugh and are a Trekkie. I'm a nerd, I know. Love The Office. Just a Jim looking for his Pam. Bonus points if you have your own giant pot that could fit a human, haha. And then he uses the laughing emoji, but not the crying laughing one, just the like closing the eyes one.
Yeah.
Thanks for reading. Please send check or money order to 1 Alabama, Arkansas.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that.
And
to our sponsor,
Dr. London, this is why we do what we do.
Yeah. No, I'm like
connecting listeners to each other.
Yeah. We don't always get this kind of listener. What I mean by this kind of listener is, of course, like eloquent, using full sentences. Our listeners are not normally this. You can't tell that they had an education usually. So
no, it's usually just it's typo written like, "Oh, I love eating flesh. I am a cannibal."
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you so much for this sponsor. I'm very excited to have sponsors again. It's been a while. And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
So do look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So for a long time, our listener demographic was primarily composed of gerbils that outsmart us at every turn. But in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. So let's see. We do have one. This is kind of an important one. So this is a comment on our response to When You Blow Up, It's Gonna Be Lit. At that guy from Fortnite said, quote, "What's your opinion on Diddy?" Yeah.
Kind of knew this question was coming. It's everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. And I think I'm ready to talk about it. Because like people can look this up. I was a child actor. I was actually in LA. I was in the industry. And during that time, I had interactions with Diddy myself. And I want to say, like, it was, it felt like my age group was a bit targeted. I don't know if that's
for sure.
Typical.
For people who don't follow the news, Diddy Kong decided that he was going to split off from the Donkey Kong franchise to do Diddy Kong Racing.
Right.
Because, it's him going solo and that sort of like arrogant move. He's obviously gotten a lot of backlash from that.
Yeah. And it's, can I say, in the moment, whenever I interacted with Diddy, it felt like a partnership more, and it made me feel safe. But then we did like venture into sort of dangerous, sort of underground places.
Well, I mean, you're like flying around in this sort of like game, and sometimes you can crash.
Yeah, and it's
or maybe like slip on a banana or something.
And the mine carts, and you're having to hop over. It's like really dark and scary. And the music would be scary. And I know music's such a thing for Diddy, but like, anyway, so just, and I don't want to make light of anything that he's done, but I guess my experiences, I feel like we're mostly positive, if I can say that.
Right. Yeah. And because you weren't affected, then it's like no big deal. That's sort of what you're saying.
Well, no, I didn't know that Diddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if Diddy Kong is going to break off and do a whole other thing and abandon the franchise, and I don't know. I guess I don't. I was ready to talk about it, but I'm not. I need to go to therapy about it, I guess, is really the answer here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
race on over to therapy. Is it too soon to make jokes like that, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to avoid joking about like actually serious stuff from now on.
It's just like we have to be sensitive to there are real victims of this Diddy Kong racing situation. So, anyway, thank you so much for that feedback. I hope we answered your question. It's sorry if I wasn't all put together for it. I didn't mean to. Okay. We have one more comment here to go through. Let's see. At Fat FCKING idiot said, quote, "This has genuinely got to be the greatest account on TikTok. Please bless my eyes with more of your beautiful content." End quote. So thank you so much for this feedback. So this is frustrating because we do sometimes get this. We don't know Joe Rogan. We can't pass this on to Joe Rogan. People keep doing this. Joe Rogan is a famous person. We can't just pass on these kind sentiments. We're just not the place for that.
Yeah, it's just again, as we've talked about this before, but Dr. Lynn and I have not been canceled yet. And so because of that, we don't really fit into his world. And we've been trying so hard. We've been saying some really, really controversial things. Just the other day, I was saying that, what if they did Charlie's Angels, but there was 4 or 5 girls as opposed to just the 3? Thinking, this is going to stir people up. People are going to get really pissed at this. And 0 likes, 0 faves, 0 views, nothing.
Yeah, I'll say, it made me mad, but that doesn't help that much.
It made me mad. I hated typing that. But I'm just trying to get canceled so that we can get $100 million from Spotify.
Yeah, it's rough. So, but I can say maybe they'll see this. Maybe Joe Rogan will see this and get the message about how great his podcast is. And I think, hey, you're right. You're right to say that he's really good, but we're not that close. But thank you so much for that feedback. I hope that answered your question. And now for today's medical topic, prostate cancer. So prostate cancer is the second most common form of cancer in men worldwide. The greatest risk factor is age, but there are other risk factors like high-fat diets, being black, positive family history, and exposure to herbicides and pesticides. And the prostate, it's a gland in males that encircles the urethra. So which is what carries urine. And part of it is also near the rectum inside. So it's anatomically important to know where these things are. Early prostate cancer is mostly asymptomatic. So cancer starts in the periphery of the prostate gland and moves centrally. So even though it surrounds the urethra, symptoms from prostate cancer don't manifest with obstruction of urine passage. So you would normally think that that's the thing, but it's not. That's usually not from cancer that you struggle to pee.
Yeah, but I mean, Dr. Luna, that just because they have this cancer, it doesn't make them evil. That's kind of the implication of your message, right? You're saying words like manifest and but I just don't think that makes them like an evil bad person, or at least someone who can't change. Aren't you open to change?
Yeah, no, we are wanting. So I think the cancer itself is bad, but I don't think the person is bad. Does that make sense to you?
I guess, but how can you separate the art from the artist? You know?
Yeah. So, well, but by the time prostate cancer causes that urinary obstruction, it often has metastasized to bone or lymph nodes. So that's what early prostate cancer looks like. Later prostate cancer, and once again, I'll say I am anti-cancer of any kind, but especially today prostate cancer.
Yeah, you're easily offended, and I get it.
So later prostate cancer has symptoms arising due to obstruction of the urethra, like we talked about. So this is, if you try to pee, you can't pee as well, including difficulty in voiding, dysuria, and increased urinary frequency. And then late prostate cancer has bone pain because it's metastasized to the vertebral bodies, the pelvis, and the longer bones in the legs. And then those patients will also have weight loss, which in this case isn't a positive. Weight loss is not great when it's from cancer.
Well, so you're just kicking these people while they're down, huh? You see someone who's already got cancer and you've decided, this is the bad guy. I hate this guy because I can't separate the artist from the art. And so I'm just going to kick them all down. Hey, not, hey, you've been looking good lately because you lost some weight. But hey, you're an evil scumbag. How dare you lose weight? I just don't like it. It's rude.
Well, and this, I feel like it's not going to be much better with the next. So that brings us to how we do catch prostate cancer early. So remember how I said that part of the prostate is near the rectum? Well, it's 3 words: digital rectal exam. So that's digital like the digits of your fingers, rectal like the rectum up your butt, and exam because it's a bit of a test. So to check for prostate cancer, the physician will, and this is important, they'll wear a glove, okay, and reach the gloved hand up the patient's anus and into the rectum to feel the patient's prostate.
Yeah, I believe it's extra. You have to pay extra if you want it without the glove.
Yeah, I'll admit I haven't been on that end of it, so to speak.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In the exchange, but so carcinoma is whenever they feel for the prostate. Carcinoma is characteristically hard, nodular, and irregular, whereas a normal prostate feels like a thenar eminence, which is the meaty part of your thumb muscles. Just whenever you're trying to think of the consistency that you should be feeling. Cancer feels like a knuckle, more like a knuckle whenever you feel it. So men with induration, asymmetry, or palpable nodularity in the prostate need a biopsy, especially if over the age 45. And if the prostate cancer is palpable, meaning you can feel it with the digital rectal exam, there's a 60-70% chance that it has spread beyond the prostate at that point. So if the digital rectal exam is abnormal, you can do a transrectal ultrasonography with biopsy to take a sample of it and find out the next steps. And this is regardless of the PSA level, the prostate-specific antigen level. Now, people might have heard of this if they know about prostate cancer at all, but the PSA is not specific, so it's not used routinely as a screening test. PSA levels can increase from prostate massage, needle biopsy, cystoscopy, pH, prostatitis, and advanced age. So even the digital rectal exam, where they have the glove on and they're reaching up there, that can increase. Just checking it can increase the PSA levels.
Yeah, glove on. Or if you pay extra, you can get a glove off.
Yeah. So transrectal ultrasound with biopsy. You may need to repeat biopsies for definitive diagnosis. And then other tests in the evaluation include a bone scan, plain radiographs of the pelvis and spine, and a CT scan of the pelvis to evaluate for metastatic disease. Disease localized to the prostate is usually curable. The definitive therapy is radical prostatectomy, so they just cut out the prostate. But if the men are older, if they don't expect to live more than 10 years from then and don't have symptoms, then you just might watch for it, just watchful waiting. And then the most common complications of prostatectomy are erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. For locally invasive disease, give radiation therapy plus androgen deprivation, which doesn't cure it, but it does decrease the spread. And then for metastatic disease, you reduce the amount of testosterone via orchiectomy, that's removal of the testicles, anti-androgens, luteinizing hormone, GnRH antagonists like degarelix to suppress testosterone by binding to receptors in the pituitary without causing a transient surge of LH or FSH. And so that's essentially, that is prostate cancer. The staging is, stage A is you can't feel it and it's confined to the prostate. Stage B, it's a palpable nodule but confined to the prostate. Stage C, it extends beyond the capsule without metastasis. And then stage D is metastatic disease.
Yeah, so if you have knuckles, you have cancer.
Yes.
So, hi there. Cameron said that we have a guest today, is that right?
That's right, Dr. Linden. We have a brand new guest. First time.
Wow, okay. Well, hello there. My name is drlindensmith.com. This is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Matilda Bellingsworth.
Great, okay. Nice to meet you, I guess is the first thing I should say.
Thank you.
What brings you here, Matilda?
Well, I run a brothel, see? And I'm pretty sure
Right.
I've felt a lot of cancerous prostates in my day. So, I think guilt brought me here. I feel like I needed to have a better relationship with the doctor in town and let him know, who's coming through, who my ladies are feeling up, and save more of the male population of this quaint town of Bixby.
Okay. I didn't expect that. Normally, whenever Cameron finds guests for us, they aren't exactly experts in the field, but to some extent, it sounds like you've been doing.
Yeah, you've got a lot of experience in this.
I just didn't even realize I had this experience. My God, I could start a whole life coaching business.
You could probably get a degree in it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm just beside myself.
Have you tried? Okay, I guess one of the questions is: so you felt irregularities in your work as a brothel owner, or you said you run it?
I run it.
Right.
Some of my gals get sick. We got a low staffed night. I'm running it. It's part of my job. We got to pick up the slack.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So
how did you get into this game? Like, did you just one day decide to, like, oh, I'm going to start a brothel?
Cameron, that's a great question, an age-old question, because I'm age-old.
Yeah, how old are you?
64.
Okay. You look much, much older.
People say that. Sometimes they, well, it's not polite to talk of a woman's age.
Oh, on this show it is.
yeah, on the show, actually, the etiquette is different here.
Yeah.
Okay, I can be malleable. to your rules and
Customs.
regulations.
Yeah, it's just
philosophies. Okay.
Yeah. So
There's really
Customs.
just two rules. You can ask someone their age, and you can ask them their income.
yeah.
But we don't have to do that. If it comes up naturally, then yes, we're going to be wanting some like receipts as well. But we don't have to get into that.
Organic is the best kind of anything.
Oh yeah, best apples, candles, conversation.
Best chemistry.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I guess what's kind of throwing me here still, it's lingering in my mind. I don't know if Cameron was intentional with it, but when you talk about income, I think income in a brothel can mean something different. Because some
can.
stuff is coming in.
Okay. Yeah. No, okay.
There's a lot of incoming.
Yeah. I get it's just the choice of words. It sounded kind of deliberate.
I thought I was going to be speaking with more mature fellas, but I guess if we want to laugh about semantics, we can laugh about semantics. I guess it never gets old for anyone else.
Well, Dr. London and I are Gen Alpha. We are extremely young. We are. How young are we this week, Dr. London?
It's. I think it went backwards. Well, I'm 12 and you're 40.
Yeah.
So,
oh shit! Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say I don't remember 9/11, but I definitely remember 9/11 because I'm 40. God. Anyway, we're Gen Alpha, and so we're kind of young, but we can try to approach this a little more maturely. But honestly, Miss Bellingsworth, this sounds like
yes, Ms.
It sounds like
I can't be tied down. I mean, it just would go against my work. Can you imagine?
Oh, you can't put a tiger in its cage.
Really
I understand.
Can't. It'd be like clipping my wing.
But it sounds like you don't like this work. Like, why be in this business if it's...
It became clear that someone, I care about lost souls, orphans. I rescue them. I try to give them a way out.
But then they get
it's
away
really
in.
hard to walk away from that. Yeah, go ahead, make your joke, doctor.
Sorry, I keep thinking that everyone else is trying to lead into this. But yeah, they try to find a way out, and then that's when they get the way in.
That's right. No, it's very poetic. I like how you said it, actually.
Thank you.
It's poetic. That's poetic. I like that version. That's okay. Yeah. I still have to answer your question. I was 5 years old one day.
Oh,
Just
no, actually,
skipping
yeah,
along.
Same here.
Yeah, skipping along, playing jacks with the neighborhood orphans. And I saw a lady walk by wearing silk. Silk. You didn't come by silk in those days very much.
You didn't come by... Okay, yes, sorry.
Right. Very good, doctor. And I thought, well, hell, I don't think my life's gonna get any better than playing jacks with these ruffians. Might as well wear silk while I'm doing it. So I followed that lady, and I followed her into this here brothel, and I learned all the ups and downs of the goings-ons, and it turns out I'm quite good with people.
The ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, yeah.
Yeah, quite good with people, and I kind of got I'm like a loofah, scrubby, scratchy on the outside, still kind of scrubby and scratchy on the inside too, really. But
there's probably a lot of actual loofahs in your line of work.
There's a nougat center. Yeah, there's a nougat center.
The loofah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone's ever cut inside of a loofah before to find out if there's nougat
That's
in there or not.
true. I don't know if there's maybe a milk or honey in the mix. I'm not sure. Are you an orphan, or you were just hanging around orphans?
Well, I don't like to talk about it, but I felt like an orphan.
Oh wow, you were an emotional
I had
orphan.
parents that didn't really want me to exist. In those days, it was tough. Milk was hard to come by. I'm gonna lay it on you guys real thick here. I've made a lot of income, and I looked into cryogenically freezing myself. I've seen the turn of the last century. Okay.
Sorry, you thought of doing it, or did you do it? And also, at 5 years old, you started working at the brothel. Sorry, these are just a few questions.
Child labor was not looked down upon in that day. You understand?
I guess it's just where you work. Like, I don't know if back in your day, if they had general stores or. Well,
as a girl, no one gave a hoot about a girl. There's not many choices. Brothel, or, play the ukulele on the street. And I didn't have a ukulele. I didn't have a way of making a ukulele. I didn't know anyone who was good with wood and string.
Yeah, it's only 2 businesses in town.
That's right. The general store. They only want to hire the little boys. Look, I tried when I was, before I saw that lady in silk, okay? I tried. I took a little piece of burnt wood. I did a little charcoal mustache. I marched into that general store, and I said, hear ye. I'm good with numbers. Let me do your books, Mr. Smith, owner of the said general store. And he took one look at my beautiful hazel eyes and wiped that charcoal mustache right off my face.
You saw through the disguise?
He really did.
I know back.
I guess I'm not the first girl to try that.
I know back then kids would pretty often have really thick mustaches, so that is surprising that he was able to see through that.
Man, that would.
The man was good. What can I say?
Yeah.
And he, it's kind of funny. He became a customer of mine here later on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would hope later on. Like, I would hope a decent amount of time later.
Yeah, much later. He's a very sexually repressed man. It took him quite a long time. I was way past my prime. He didn't want to touch me with a 10-foot pole. But that's neither here.
I gotta ask.
At 5,
I gotta ask about the cryogenesis. Like, how long have you been in modern times?
10 years.
Okay, so this is everything is.
I don't even know what 9/11 means.
Oh wow, you haven't learned that in the 10 years.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't experience that. Sorry.
How have you adjusted? Because that's gonna be a crazy adjustment.
YouTube.
Oh wow! You came out of the cryogenic chamber, and then we're like, okay, I'm gonna look up YouTube and sort of see what I need to do. Dr. London,
so what's up with you guys?
Oh well, I was about to say we had actually some topics that people had been asking about and that we wanted to try to get to. Do you have any of those?
Yeah. Okay, and this is, and we weren't even going to necessarily address it, but we are in one of the most spooktacular times of year right now.
Yes, it is the week of Halloween.
That's why I put on these ears. I thought that would tickle your fancies.
Yeah, it lightens the mood for sure, and super fun.
Yeah, no, it's jolly, jovial. But But yeah, so since it, tis the season, we have gotten questions about the monster under the bed.
Yeah, so we wanted to dedicate just a little time this week about how to deal with and beat the monster under your bed, because I feel like every other listener is asking this exact same question. And I mean, Matilda, have you dealt with this at all?
Well, I don't hire children, so I'm not working with children.
Oh yeah, but I just
who said children?
An adult who's afraid of a monster under their bed. I mean,
it's not one adult. There are a lot of us. So
yeah,
I think,
and he is under there.
There's some projecting going on.
You think I'm a monster?
The monster is inside of themselves.
Oh,
it's their own demons.
So who's the guy under my bed?
Yeah, that'd be my follow-up question.
Because he's stealing my shoes and stuff.
You're saying
he said he's the monster under my bed. Like, I swear that's what he described.
Supernatural. Himself. I think this is a job for the pigs. There's someone squatting under your bed.
There's a monster under my bed.
It's a it's a monster. Like, maybe the terminology is throwing you off, but there's a monster that clearly communicated to Cameron that it's a monster.
He said, "Hey, I'm the monster under your bed. I'm going to steal your shoes.
Yeah.
Could you point out in the pantry like where chips are versus like bread and kind of guide me around a bit?
Tortillas.
Yeah.
Is he furry?
That I can't tell. All I see is two beady glowing eyes.
Uh-huh.
What color?
Green. They're gorgeous.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
Cameron will call me in the middle of the night just to describe how beautiful these eyes are.
Yeah, you could get lost
and also
in
that
them.
He's scared. Yeah. He'll say like, "I'm scared of it," but like, wow. Oh, wow. These are dazzling.
You're telling me you have an establishment, I assume, with a ton of different beds, and you've never dealt with a monster under your bed?
Well, there was one gal, my hire, Trina, that she used to have real bad nightmares. She was off the clock. And some of the girls, there was some rumors going around. Somebody with glowing eyes. Yeah, glowing. That's taking me back. That's taking me back.
So, well, it sounds like, did you solve the issue? Because that's really ultimately what we're trying to do here is, how do we befriend it? Do we kill it?
We had the fire of 1917. And I didn't hear no rumors about green glowing furry anything after that. So
yeah, and I
maybe set your room on fire. Maybe
this has been my solution for kind of all of my kind of like bug problems or people problems, or in this case, it sounds like monster problems. So that
your water problems,
electricity problems. This does seem like a decent idea. I'm just trying to think, what if fire doesn't affect him because he is a monster? But I do believe he said something along the lines of like, I don't have any special powers or anything. I'm just a normal monster in your bed. So don't think you can shoot me and that won't kill me. Because I'm not trying to kill the guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's like you've already been coexisting.
Yeah, and he said he's got a U-Haul coming later this week with a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah.
Have you tried moving? Like, you could actually use his U-Haul. When he empties his stuff, you put your stuff into his U-Haul.
Oh, whoa.
And you move out.
And then I take his old house. Oh, but do I want to
Well,
live
you
in like
might
a
have to
swamp or something, right? Don't monsters usually live in like a shitty...
That's gonna be real humid.
It's whatever they live in is going to suck. Like, I just know it has to.
And it's, dry heat isn't so bad, but it's that humidity that'll get you. Like, really?
That moisture will get you.
Yeah.
Rashes abound.
And I'm already spending
so
many hours a day dealing with the ones I have.
Yeah.
Like, I really,
I
I don't have the time or emotional management to take on more rash responsibility right now.
Only fester, yeah.
So we do have another listener request.
Okay.
That we need to get to.
Lay it on me.
Yeah.
Us.
And this is...
Lay it on us.
Okay. So this is a comment in response to Quite the Sigma. At Dickbag29 said, quote, "What's your opinion on kale?" End quote. So thank you so much for this feedback. I never met her.
On kale?
Yeah, who's Kale? Was that... Yeah, I just never met someone with that name before. She sounds cute.
She's my star employee right now.
Kale?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
At your brothel?
At my brothel. I thought it was strange, but she outperforms all the other gals. What can I say?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
I guess I could say more.
Well, they're saying what's your opinion on kale, and I guess like usually people do a Yelp review or whatever. But again, I haven't visited as many brothels. I haven't read the reviews on brothels to really know.
But yeah, Kale the prostitute, how many stars on Yelp?
4.5. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is, honestly.
And also trustworthy. I don't really believe a 5-star review. I'm like, you're not being honest.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Who are you paying to blow smoke up your business's ass,
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for that feedback. I hope we answered your question. Okay, then we have one more of these listener feedback questions. At Stacks KH said, quote, "Oh, this was hard to watch," end quote. So thank you so much for this feedback.
Much like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so is comedy, so is entertainment. Maybe this fella, gal, whatever, has a different set of taste buds and should find taste buds can be acquired, can be
surgically, yeah.
They can evolve. Keep watching.
No, I mean,
what I say.
Everyone's got their own taste for sure, and I think, yeah, I mean, if this gets you hard while you watch, that's cool, but I don't think you need to tell us about that, right? Like, that's not, you don't have to leave comments like every time that happens, or...
Yeah. I'd like, I guess, I mean, I like that I do know now.
I feel powerful.
Yeah. I like that information's conveyed. But I also don't like the moment of learning, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't like being told, but I like knowing. So, so thank you so much for that feedback. I hope that we adequately satisfied your question. Okay, and thank you. All right, so that's our last question here. Well, Matilda, thank you so much. I feel like we've learned a lot from you here, and about the old ways, which, as my grandma would say, the old ways are coming back. But she said it with the old lady voice. Do you have anyone you'd like to plug? Anyone you're a fan of since you woke up?
I like this funny person. I think it's like yes, and then the person's name. At yes, Regina Melzer. I think that's it.
At yes, Regina Melzer. Melzer? How do you spell that?
Yeah. All right. So at sign. Okay. YES as in Sam. REG as in girl. IN as in Nancy. AM as in Monday. ELZ as in zebra. ER.
Okay. And so for listeners, that was at.
It's a weirdo. Weirdo. Just a weirdo. Don't know what's going on in that brain, but if you're weird, maybe check it out. You won't feel so alone in this world.
Wow, that's so fun, Matilda. And you're, wow. So once again, jovial. Jovial is the word that comes to mind. So thank you so much to Matilda. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.